you can feel something shifting, you're not imagining it. 2026 is one of the most transformative years of the decade, and I want you to be able to take full advantage of it. That's why I'm hosting a live 2026 astrology forecast on January 8th. We're going to break down the biggest planetary shifts and themes of the year and how they'll affect your chart, so you can move into the year with clarity instead of confusion, faith instead of fear, and obviously a whole lot of cosmic sparkle. Head to cosmicrx.com to join us. This week, the sky is giving a happy birthday and shout out to my bodacious bulls. Yes, I'm talking to you, my Taurus angels, honey bunnies. Not only is it the season to remember our pleasure is our power and that nature doesn't rush her magic, so neither do we. But I'm going to give an extra big, juicy, abundant, luxurious birthday shout out. Put an extra celestial sauce in my birthday cake this year because my Taurus babies, I love you down. I'm popping bottles. I'm popping the bubbly. I got the VUB chilled for you because you are done with that Uranus and Taurus cycle. I am talking about ending a pretty wild, pretty erratic 8 years since 2018, the spring of 2018. You have been on a journey. So not only is it your birthday season, but honey, like you went through some shit, but you came out stronger. You came out remembering you are that bad bitch. And you came out remembering, oh yeah, life throws some bricks at me. I'm building a mansion. Okay. I'm building a mansion with that. So you are the blueprint right now for how we can be connected to our values, how we can be in love with our body more, for how we can have more beauty, pleasure, devotion, loyalty, and let's be honest, impeccable taste along the way. All right. So chilling this. Obviously, I'm drinking my Celsius right now because I'm a tired toddler mama. But later, I'm getting weird with that for you. And for everyone else, this week is bringing that too because it's Taurus season, because we're ending that Uranus and Taurus. And listen, if you're like, oh my God, I'm a Gemini, like that means it's in my sign next. I'm going to get into that. Don't worry. I'm going to give you your cosmic RXs, your cosmic prescriptions. But here's the thing, my Geminis, listen up. Come closer. You love chaos, honey. Like between you and I know that you love the Uranus energy, like the mixing it up, the shake up, the wake up. They're like, that's very Gemini coded. For my Taurus bodacious bulls, this was a little bit outside of our comfort zone. This was a cosmic zone moment for sure, but you did it. Right? Taurus is fixed earth. Taurus and Uranus are like, really? But we did it. We got through. And this week, the sky is bringing grounded glow ups. We're going to have flirty plot twists. And of course, a little truth serum energy in there. But we're going into a whole new cycle. I'm going to walk you through that. Welcome to Cosmic RX Radio, a podcast that gives you real-life tools of spiritual empowerment and pure hype. I'm your host and intuitive guide, MADI Murphy. I'll be serving up your weekly energy readings, cosmic boss interviews, and astro inspiration. Are you ready to love yourself more, manifest your dream life, and own your magic? Let's jump in. If you're new here, welcome. I'm MADI Murphy. That was a very long intro. I am your cosmic consultant, your metaphysical, mystical guide on this wild ride of being a human. And welcome back to Cosmic RX Radio, where we give you a weekly energy report to break down what the planets are doing. And maybe more importantly, what are you going to do about it? It's the WTF of it all, breaking it down, translating it so you can harness this energy, so you can align with your highest and hottest self, right? I am very excited to be in Taurus season. I'm wearing like this fantastic green. I always feel like Taurus season, I want to be in my green clothes, my cottage core, my soft life, like just be in a meadow somewhere. But we are still with all this fire in the sky. So I'm keeping it a little jungle cat, right? Keeping it a little jungle cat. Let me know if you're watching this on YouTube. I've been loving the little hype on YouTube lately, but like how was that last week for you? How was that Aries new moon, that stellium, that once in a lifetime mashup of all of that Aries energy? For me, it was like an energy drink. It really was. I'm still in it at the time of this recording, but also so lit up in my 10th house of career, just taking action, doing things that I've wanted to do for a long time and really seeing the vision, stepping into it, like not letting it be something that's outside of myself. So I hope you got to experience the same on some level, because that is what, even though that time passed, we're still in it. In fact, we're just grounding into it more in our body now, in our muscles, in our nervous system, in our breath, that we are in a whole new chapter. We are in a whole new embodiment of your most authentic self. There is no more performing. There is no more people pleasing. There is no more masking. The world needs you in your sacred rage, in your silly goose, in your sacred party girl. Okay. That's the big three right now, because anything else is fake, and we don't need more fake shit right now. I need you in your full life force mode. I need you in like, oh, this is me when I'm not. It's literally a leak of energy to be in that performing. It's like a dog walking on its hind legs. It's freaking exhausting. Get down on all fours and bark, girly, okay? Um, or walk someone on a dog collar, like whatever the vibe is for you right now. But this is a moment. I just want to remind you as we move through this year to keep chasing. Like, you're not chasing approval, you're not chasing something outside of yourself, but you are chasing like rejection. Like, you're chasing being alive, you're embracing cringe, you're living out loud, you're just doing things with a little less fucks, giving more damns about important things, right? Are we understanding this girl math here? Okay. So let's do some quick Virgo announcements. Let's just get organized. Let's get hot about it. Let's just go deeper into what's happening behind the scenes here. Let me check my notes. All right. So if you really want to understand, like, be your own astrologer, be your own reader, I think is one of the best skills that any of us can invest in for the next 2 decades, is understanding the language of the stars. Because as things here on Earth are going to make less sense, but more sense if you're tuned in, we're going to want to look to the ancient but also futuristic lens and lingo and framework that astrology teaches us, right? There's a context that's cosmic, and there is a blueprint, but there's also so much flexibility. I know it's rough out there, but I also want to encourage you that there's like a breaking down of the systems, but also the rigidity. There's like, we're in a video game right now, and you are being asked to like do the codes, the cheat codes, to remember that, like, all right, a lot of the stuff that keeps you small, feeling powerless, feeling broke, feeling unhappy, feeling stuck, is by design. And when you start to break that, you're like, oh shit, life can be really fun, and I can just decide how I want to play it. But your birth chart and understanding the cosmos at large is like a first step in that, right? Like, what does that even mean, Maddie? Where do I start? So please, 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 as my sisters and I say, turn to face the cosmos. They turn to face you back. And if you want to do that, we have a self-guided course in our Astro Academy called The Magic of You. And it's 3 modules that break down within the 3 parts of your chart. So it's all about the you, the sun, moon, rising. Then we go into relationships. We talk about Mercury, Mars, Venus. Then we talk about you and your career and purpose, right? So if you want to really like have this be a year where you're like, okay, I just want to understand what this means for myself a little bit. Or if you're like me and you like seeing everything laid out and make your flashcards. Oh, we also have flashcards. We have so much fun stuff in it. Go check it out. And it's done at your own pace. But we also have, if you join our community, you can always be in conversation. You can ask me questions, just so you don't feel like you have to do it completely alone, right? Very like Aries coded right now. Like, you're doing it on your own, at your own pace, but you don't have to like go it alone. We can do it together. And I've had a lot of questions for people who want to work with me and get readings, like a lot for the past 2 or 3 years. My schedule is bonkers, but I did launch an offering this week that you can find on my personal Instagram that is for a pre-recorded video reading with me. I'm going to be having certain spots a month available for me to give you a reading, and it'll be delivered to your inbox. So it's going to be really fun. This is very transformative. I'm always doing the most, I'm not only looking at the chart, but I'm picking up on energy. I'm looking at things through an intuitive lens, and also looking at the lens of like, how do we use your chart, right, as the ultimate manifestation map, as the blueprint to you understanding your baddest bitch self. And I'm always focused on how can we have fun while we're doing this, while we are being fulfilled and feeling free and feeling financially stable, feeling in love and showing up for our sacred service of our community. But like, can we also have fun? Because like, WTF, like, isn't this supposed to be fun and joyful? And I swear to God, women, especially being in their joy, in their pleasure, in their play, in their fun is like the biggest fucking threat to the systems of oppression, to the predator class. Get at me if you think otherwise. But if you want to do all of that and like that's the kind of astrology reading you like, then come find me. And then last but not least, you might already be in it, but we have soft launch something called the Inner Circle. This is a monthly coaching call if you have done one of our other courses. So one of my small group coachings, whether that's, we just did our eclipse circle, which kind of gave us the idea for this because it was so nice to meet in person and go through this wild time in history together. But also, if you did Cosmic Boss, if you've done Magic of You, this is like if you've kind of have a base level, a foundational prerequisite with us, and you want to have a monthly check-in, then come join, come hang out. All this is on our Instagram, Linktree. So let's get into the emotional weather. Who wants to talk about the moon? I do. As always, let's just remind ourselves this is your emotional weather report. The moon is going to help us understand our inner landscape so we can not pop off and crash out unless we want to in our outer landscape. So let's start with Monday, April 20th until Tuesday, the evening of the 21st. We are in a Gemini moon vibe. You're going to see the whole week has a little Gemini coded energy that I'm obsessed with. So we're chatty. We're curious. We're a little chaotic in the cutest way. I saw a girl today wearing a shirt that says chaos cutie. And I was like, where do I get a link? Gemini moon is giving like, I need stimulation. I need social contact or I will spiral. And everything we're going to talk about in this podcast is the power of Gemini, of conversation, of community, of connection, of curiosity. So I want you to lean hard into that, especially if you're having like a thread to pull on. Trust that. Say yes to conversations, brainstorming, send the voice notes, journal, flirt, info gather, like vibe code with your friends. And I mean that in the way of like brainstorming and like soundboarding, not in like the tech bro way. So talk it out, try something new, follow your curiosity, like I mentioned. We just don't want to overthink yourself into a hole. Sometimes all the Gemini energy can it'll give me a little anxiety. So we're going to want to ground your energy and like see where it's being too scattered and pull it back in. And also just don't gossip in ways that feel misaligned. Like I love spilling tea, but again, like there's a cute way of doing it and there's not a cute way. So this week, clarity does not come from silence. It is going to come from expression, right? Not suppression or repression. Tuesday evening into Thursday evening, Cancer moon. Now we soften. Now we feel. Cancer moon is emotional. It's intuitive. It's nostalgic. Your inner child or a pulling to something from the past might be really loud. So do that. Like take your cosmic prescription, tend to your emotional body like it's sacred because it is. Rest, cook, nest, be cozy, connect with people that feel safe to you. Don't take things personally that aren't about you. Don't be a passive aggressive little crabby going side to side. Like if you got to say something, just say it head on. Clarity is kindness. And don't ignore what your body is telling you ever. Definitely not these days. So just remember, like your sensitivity, it's not a weakness. It's not a liability. It's your guidance system. So Thursday into Sunday morning, we have a Leo moon. So a Leo moon is main character energy. It's confidence, it's creativity, it's visibility, it's vibing, it's play. So let yourself be seen these days. It's like going into the weekend. Let yourself be celebrated. I just got off an amazing call with a woman who's actually going to be on the podcast and one of my dear friends and a mentee and a collaborator. And we were talking about just being in that Leo state, right? These days, like creating, posting, performing, being a little dramatic, a little like extra in the best way. For so many of us, we might feel like our creativity is lost or overwhelmed or like things like social media, content creation are so hard. Or it's like, first of all, are we just consuming? Like, Leo moon days, we are creating, okay? We are creating, we are expressing, and we're not dimming our light for anyone. We're not playing small out of fear. And we're not doing things out of like a sense of obligation. We're following like where our heart wants to go. And all these Leo moon days are going to be great little practice moments, little cosmic breadcrumbs as we lead into Jupiter moving into Leo in the end of June. See what I did there? I'll give you a little homework. We're getting ready. We get like pre-homework in, okay? So just remember, right? Like, it's not like the people around you, like the right people around you don't just tolerate your shine. They're actually activated and inspired by it and invited to step into their own shine. And then we go into Sunday with a Virgo moon day. So we land the plane of all this buzzy energy for the week. And Virgo moon is going to be integration, refinement, getting your life together, but like make it hot, make it fun. It is a Sunday after all. Tiny tweaks, big magic. Like maybe there's just one little area of your life that you want to organize, a reset. It's like you feel so light after you do that. Or just take care of your body. Go to an amazing slow flow restorative yin yoga class, right? Like go get some like beautiful items from your local farmer's market and get excited to like cook well for yourself for the week. Just things we're not going to do in these days, spiral into perfectionism, over criticize yourself, forget about the whole freaking journey of how far you've come. Like let yourself rest that day. Okay, so as we go into planetary planning, let's talk about this week, what is going down in the sky, because oh my God, it's a big one. It's a big one. Major astrology alert. So like I mentioned, we're officially in a Taurus season as of April 19th. And Aries, as always, lit the match. And oh, what a match it was this year. And now Taurus helps us build that like campfire, builds the stone wall, builds the benches, and builds that fire into something sustainable. So you might have had all these ideas, impulses, like bold moves, things you want to initiate during Aries season. And now Taurus is like, okay, babe, like, let's integrate. Let's make it real. Let's take some of this and do something with it. And this is where, everything like the inspiration you have might turn into income, right? The vibes just become something more tangible. The things that were like lightning bolts now they have structure to them. We're doing some legwork with them. So I want you to think about during all of Taurus season, the key in my book, right, is like, I deserve to feel good. So in Taurus season, can you let it all feel good? Can you realize that you're allowed to feel good? I'm allowed to feel good. I'm allowed to be guided by pleasure, not just pressure, which actually allows us to slow down enough to really do it right, to enjoy our one true life, to feel good. I always like the energy that you're in when you're making something is the energy that it emanates. So if you're building something, whether it's a business or a garden, writing a book, it's like, so when you want that thing to like feel good, probably, right? So we're not going to burn out chasing results. We're not going to ignore pleasure while pursuing success. We're not going to leave our body. And we're definitely going to connect to nature and our bodies, our pleasure, right? All that stuff. Very Taurus umbrella. Then Venus goes into Gemini on April 24th. So this is what I'm talking about. Lots of Gemini energy this week. That will be in place from April 24th to May 18th. And when Venus moves into Gemini, we all get a little bit more chatty. That like flirtatious energy is on the rise. We want to like text, be curious. We're in a social butterfly era. I just think of it as the best like flirtation energy. And I mean that not like just platonically. It's like we're just yapping, click, clack, connecting. You're just getting that flow with someone. And you're like, yeah. So like connection gets really mental. Love can get playful. Mix it up if you're in a long-term relationship and being a Gemini, like go out and do something different. If you're like playing the field, this is great fucking energy to play the field with. Like try things. Variety is the spice of life, honey. And you might find yourself more attracted to like people who, just like show you new things, inspire you, give you that like sparkly champagne bubbles in the mind. And so during this time, I always think it's great to just flirt just for flirting's sake. Have fun, stay curious, try out new social dynamics or groups. We're just going to avoid overpromising. Like sometimes the Gemini wants to say yes to a million things at once, and then you're like, seem flaky, or you get spread thin, or you get anxious. Don't, just talk to talk. You got to listen to. It's the other Gemini twin. You got to practice our active listening. And also just don't like think you have to do it all, right? Like, I can't describe it. This thing is coming through right now of like, I always think with Gemini, like pick 2 or 3 things to focus on. Like variety is the spice of life, like I just said, but we don't want to get like drowned out in the spice. We still want to enjoy like the meat of what we're consuming. So be curious, but also like honor your limits. I know that there's time to explore more. I hope that lands for someone. So then we have on April 25th, Sun square Pluto. This is, okay, tension, a little power dynamics, little power struggles might be coming through, a little shadow work coming to the surface. I'm just putting this on the docket because you might feel a little triggered, but let the triggers be your teachers, right? Face what's coming up. Have a hard conversation. Tell the truth. We're not going to avoid conflict, but we're also not going to pursue it. Fine dynamic here. But I want us to think about like this tug of war between like our safety and then our freedom. Like you might be feeling like, okay, I want to do something that feels really new, but it's really challenging to me, my sense of security and stability. But actually, if you allow yourself to go deeper with it in the Pluto way, it's like you actually have more freedom and safety and security on the other side if you just are able to make this change or open up to a new way of being, if that makes sense. Okay. And then we have the big headlines. This is like one of the last, actually, there's still more to come, but this is one of the biggest headlines of the year. Alert, alert, major astrology alert. Uranus moves into Gemini. So this is going to be here till 2033. That's why I say this is a big, big, big cycle. Okay. Real talk, my cosmic cuties. I am cracking up because this podcast recording in true like Gemini fashion is being split into a million different fragmented pieces. It's my third time getting interrupted. I put on a little makeup in that break. If you want to check out the results on YouTube, a little bronzer on, a little iridescent highlighter. I'm back. Okay, so major astrology alert. Wow, wow. Sound the sirens, sound the foghorn. Uranus and Gemini. So like I said, we are entering a whole new era right now. Uranus and Gemini, Uranus is the planet of disruption, right? Wake up, shake up energy. It is where we are evolving. It's electric. It's a lightning bolt planet. It is we will not be fundamentally the same at the end of this transit as where we are when we started. So Uranus is finishing its cycle in Taurus. That's what I was saying in the beginning. So this means that since 2018, we've gone through so many evolutions and disruptions around all things Taurus. And when I was a little baby, professional astrologer, just starting my practice in 2018 and really looking at collective astrology versus just like horoscopes and synastry and personal charts, I was like, oh, what's Uranus and Taurus? How are you going to go through an evolution in Taurian things? And it was like, land and borders and money and currency and art and your values and real estate and where you live and how you, like what cities you live in. And I remember the one that really caught my eye for Uranus and Taurus was a disruption of your five senses. And I was like, well, hey, are we going to have like smell-o-vision movies make a comeback? Because my dad told me about going to those in like the late 70s in the village. I'm like, what? But then, lo and behold, enter COVID 2 years later, where a lot of people lost their sense of taste and smell and still have that and long COVID, but also COVID brought a lot of disruption around how people, where people live in what cities because of the ability to work from home. A lot of people started reconnecting to land, agriculture. Uranus and Taurus disrupts agriculture, everything from beef to farming practices. And look what we've seen. I mean, everything from the war in the Ukraine to what's happening here to ICE deporting all the people who work on farms here in the US and what that's done to, again, Taurus's value and money. So we have everything from cryptocurrency, very Uranus and Taurus, Bitcoin, NFTs, failed of things like the metaverse fall under Uranus and Taurus. But even just the change in money and value, Jupiter was in Taurus also when this happened, which can indicate times of inflation. And also just like a big change in values and what we value. And if you want to go into the political and world stage and planetary lens, check out the If Astrology Isn't Real episode. I did a talk about the history of it and what it means for us and just some light, projections or prayers I'm putting into the future for that. But on this episode, I will focus more on, what it means for us and for your development and for our understanding of like where we've been into the collective, because that's what I love about astrology, right? It's like, we can know what it means, have a certain energy signature from a past cycle, but it doesn't mean that that's like hard and fast. We're always co-creating with this energy. So yes, like the headline, the clickbait of it all is that we've always been at war when Uranus is in Gemini. Uranus is in Gemini is our natal placement in the US's birth chart. Uranus was in Gemini for the American Revolution, for the Civil War, for World War II. And this is, things I've been talking about in my private community or on our longer form webinars and workshops. I don't always love like dropping this on social like 2 or 3 years in advance because I don't want to fearmonger. Because again, we are co-creating. And also, Uranus and Gemini brings war, but it also brings like redistribution of power, of harmful ideologies. It's a restructuring. It's a massive shift in how information spreads. The first printing press was created during a Uranus and Gemini. It's like, oh, right. Now we can disseminate and read things differently and understand things differently. And that's what's happening right now. And again, nothing is good or bad. There's a spectrum. But Uranus and Gemini is like with social media, we have a different access to stories, to things, to an understanding of what's happening behind closed doors, or behind, beyond what mainstream media is telling us. And yes, like there's some shadow to that where people are like, I do my own research or I don't trust anything anymore. But one of the high consciousness of this is like, oh, we know better, so we can do better. And we have new language for things. And we're going to have revolutions in media. We're going to have revolutions in our local communities and communication systems and transportation. I'm calling a big shift in the two-party system because, right, Gemini is like binaries and Uranus comes to disrupt. Uranus and Gemini is a great time for thought leaders, for people who want to be collaborative, think new things, share new ideas, new voices emerging. It's like innovation, disruption, and like a little chaos, but really the chaos is going to come mostly if you're clinging to the old way of doing things. And Uranus and Gemini is coming to rewrite a story on the collective, but also for you, baby doll. So make sure, you have that pencil sharpened. Make sure you got a fresh, mystical moleskin and get ready because Uranus Gemini is going to want you to question everything and decide what are the characters, what are the plot lines, right, that are coming into this new chapter and what serves you and what did you learn about yourself during Uranus in Taurus. So do me a favor, definitely check out where you have Uranus in your chart. For me, where you have Taurus in your chart. For me, it's my 11th house. So when Uranus and Taurus started, I had been doing community events that were spiritual of nature at my coffee shop in Brooklyn. And then we started doing more in-person events when our company, our brand was called Sacred Space Revolution. And we were doing these events called like Meditate and Manifest at the Public Hotel, at where Detox Market and Lululemon and basically anywhere that would have us. And then people started being like, I want to come, but I'm in California, or I'm in Chicago, or I'm in Paris. And Audrey, genius, visionary energy, her North Node in Taurus, was like, oh, we should find a digital way to do this. This is 2018. And so she decided to do it over Zoom. At the time, everyone's like, what's Zoom? This is so weird. But that Uranus innovation there really helped us get ahead of the curve and we were ready to go. We were ready to go. When COVID happened, we were like, we already have the system, we have the framework, we have the community, just come on in, right? And it was allowed me to really form community with like-minded people who are aligned with my values, very Taurus, and it's been very grounding. And that's just grown and grown and grown in such an incredible way. And even right now, to these last few degrees of it, I just had a beautiful invitation to join this group, Sway, and they're sort of creating these cool, like using your communities, using your platforms to help educate people on voting and policy to sort of disrupt, again, like the big super PAC groups and lobbyist groups that like push forward information about candidates and to help support more independent, more progressive candidates. And I was like, wow, like what a cool journey the community has gone on during this Uranus and Taurus reflection. And it's gearing me up for, I can feel the Uranus and Gemini medicine already, like sharing my voice, getting out there. Click, clack, connecting. Uranus and Gemini is going to want us like in our local neighborhood, like going to your local bar and doing cool things that are vibey and important and value driven for you. Making friends with your local like bookshop owner, coffee shop owner. It's going to want you to like get out and talk to people. The shadow energy, of course, there's going to be like an overwhelm stuff of online, but I actually think online is going to get so like slopified and social media is going to go back to what it's meant to be, which is a tool. And I keep saying this. I think during Uranus and Gemini, we're going to remember that social media was meant to be and designed to be a tool to get your message out, right? To build your visibility, to launch your art, not a place you live, which is what it's become, right? But I actually think we're going to be like so over it with the AI, inundated AI slop, the just overwhelm of noise on there and the craving for real in-life IRL connections. So as much as you can do that during this time, it's going to feel better. Again, we are co-creating with the cosmos, with this universal energy. So how can we think about these concepts and be like, okay, how can we use this to weave a better and brighter future into existence and go with that flow, right? Instead of resisting the tides, resisting where we're being led. And I talked about this on the If Astrology Isn't Real segment, but it's also going to be a little bit of like warfare of the mind. Like, can we keep our minds strong and elevated? And can we stay in the place of our shared humanity, which is very Pluto and Aquarius? Can we stay in that place of connection and communication and curiosity? And also, Gemini, it's mischievous. It's a little whimsy. It's a little silly goosey. I wrote a piece on Substack about how this is like silly goosey in the system is part of like the trickster manifesto that comes with Gemini energy. So check that out if you want to understand how like fun and silliness and like frivolity is actually one of the really important tools at this moment in time. And I think that I want you to try new things. Like, right, Gemini likes to try new things. So learn new skills, like put yourself out there, build new community, just whatever you do. Don't stay stagnant. Right? Do we see how all this energy, it's like we have all this Aries energy and all this Gemini energy and everything is like new, out, go. It is why we have to ground down and drink lots of water. But yeah, that is a big, big, big part of it, right? And I think the future is going to belong to the ones who really show up in authenticity and who are brave enough and bold enough and embodied enough to say the real things, but like be the real change we want to feel. And I think, like I've been saying forever, but Pluto and Aquarius, it's like everything, your energy is your currency, like your frequency, the immediate vibe people get from you. And I find that like I'm on following sprees every day because the vibes are off, right? And like it's the same thing that we can feel when something's like AI made. It's a little harder sometimes, but like you just know because it's missing soul. It's missing like the rough edges that make us human. So with all of this astrology, when I say be your authentic self, you're not hearing be your perfectly curated, perfectly designed, polished, published self, right? No. And I have talked myself through this all the time. Like, just go, just do something. Don't worry about like checking all. It's like that doesn't mean anything. Checking all the things. What are the things? Like, this is all made up. The Gemini and Aries in the sky feel like that Elmo meme where he's like anarchist, like the flames are going. It just feels like, like, let it all burn. It's all made up. Have fun. Like, love each other, make art, like just do your thing. Okay. So that's the vibe. Elmo, fire, air. Okay. So yeah, Uranus and Gemini, we'll be talking about it a lot here, but it's always when these planets move the first few days, we kind of get a sneak peek of what the story is going to be. So let's pay attention. It's going to be chaotic. We're going to feel ungrounded for sure. But I actually like the Uranus and Gemini. Uranus and Taurus, again, it's very resistant. It's also a signature, an astrology signature for fascism. So I'm happy to be done with that. And again, I talked about that on the other Astrology Isn't Real segment. But yeah, like just study the higher consciousness parts of Gemini and see how you can embody that and maybe even take some calculated cosmic risks to be more of that. And then just wrap up the week, just to put a nice little bow on all this air energy, all this, we have Venus trining Pluto on April 28th. And, I do love that we're in Taurus season because I need something to like hold me to earth right now. But Venus trine Pluto, this is spicy. I like this energy if you are like want to have a sexy date night or you're going to go out and meet someone and like, it's like chemistry, magnetism, like deep, intense, like attraction. And so like this is maybe a day you might find like an authentic connection unexpectedly, or you might explore a desire you never knew you had. Or if you're in a partnership, maybe you want to get a little bit more like honest about, like your intentions or something around intimacy. The only thing we're not going to do on these days, we're not going to ignore red flags. Okay. We're not going to confuse like the love bombing intensity with like authentic, conscious connection, reciprocity. Okay. That's all I'm going to say. Just leave it there. But overall, right, this week we feel like we're grounding the vision. We're looking back to this journey that started in May 2018. We're staying very rooted in our values, in our pleasure, in our power, through which we find it, our body and through nature, right? That is our church, our body and nature. Okay. And then we're being asked to get very real about what we actually want and how we want to build it. It is time to put on the hard hat. It is time to like chop wood, carry water, and be in that place of our truth. Okay. So again, we're not in passive energy. This is the time of the year that things feel really forward. But again, with this Taurian energy, hopefully it could feel a little bit more grounded, a little bit more embodied. And like, I want to tell you, like a little bit of effort is going to go a long way. Like a little investment, a little seed, so much is going to bloom and blossom in your garden from there. So this is your sign. Go for it. If you love this episode, I never do this, but I would like share this with someone who might need to hear it, especially like a Taurus or Gemini. And definitely let me know if you're watching this on YouTube. Let me know what you think of this. Let me know what's landing for you. Please don't criticize my really lack of makeup skills. We're not doing that. Okay. But if you're ready to actually live in your chart and like really connect to your heart, stay here, find some ways to work with us, the Astro Academy with me. I love you. I don't even know you, but like if you're here listening and you stayed till this end, you know I love you. I'm rooting for you. The planets are clocking the tea. We're brewing the tea. We're all doing this together. And I am sending you the biggest, juiciest blessings for those big, fat, like lots of zeros, checks, and then hot, fulfilling, toe curling sex. Until next week. Mwah. Do you love getting your Cosmic RX for the week here and want more? Make sure to sign up for our premium subscription so you can get exclusive access to bonus podcast episodes, all of my astrology info for the month ahead, and live new and full moon calls to help you manifest your dream life with an intentional international community of other cosmic baddies. Sign up through our link in show notes. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you want to know more about Cosmic RX, head on over to thecosmicrx.com. And if you really love this show, I'd love it if you left a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts. I super love hearing from you and reading your reviews. All right, you cosmic baddie, tune in next week. And until then, remember, love yourself fully, work your magic, and take no shit.